In a college, 12% of the total students are interested in sports, 3/4 of the total students are interested in dance, 10% of total are interested in singing, and remaining 15 students are not interested in any activity. A very simple problem, 12%, 3/4, that means 75%. So 75 plus 10, that is 85. 85 plus 12 is 97%. Right? So 97% students are interested in any activity. 3% students are not at all interested in any activity. That means 15 students. Now 3% is 15 students. That means 1% is 5. That means 100% is 500 students. No paperwork required at all. Getting my point? I repeat, 12%, 75%, that is 87%, plus 10, 97%. So we are left with 3%. 3% is 15. That means 1% is 5. That means 100% is 500 students. Right? Now, in how many different ways can the letter of the word ARMOUR be arranged? A very simple one. Here you can say R is repeated in all 3 and 3 6 letters, and among them R is repeated, right? So the 6 letters can be arranged in 6 factorial manner, and since R is repeated for 2 times, we'll be dividing it by 2 factorial. So 720 by 2, that's 360. That's none of these, right? You must be clear about the basics of permutation and combination, right? Hardly matter of 20 seconds. Now, a problem based on time, speed and distance. Deepa drives a bike at an average speed of 30 and reaches her destination in 6 hours. Hema covers that distance in 4 hours, right? Now, Deepa increases her average speed by 10 km per hour. Now, initial speed of Deepa was 30. Now, it is 40. That means she's increasing her speed to 1/3. That means the new speed is 4/3 of the initial speed. Getting my point? Initially it was 30, now it is 40. That means the new speed is 4/3 of the initial speed. If the speed is 4/3, that means the time taken will be 3/4, right? 4/3 and 3/4, because speed and time are in inverse variation. So initially she was taking 6 hours. So now she will take 3/4 of 6, that is 4.5 hours. So this is the time of Deepa, right? Now Hema covers that distance in 4 hours. So Deepa is covering that distance in 6 hours and Hema is covering that distance in 4 hours. So their timing ratio is what? 3/2, right? 6/4, that is 3/2. So if timing ratio is 3/2, speed ratio will be 2/3, right? That means speed of Hema must be more, that is 3/2 of 30, that's 45 km per hour. Okay? Now Hema is increasing her speed by 5 km per hour. Initially it was 45, now she is increasing by 5. That means the new speed is 50 km per hour, right? So precisely the speed increment is what? 1/9, that is 5 over 45. So the new speed will be 10/9 of the initial speed, right? So if the speed is 10/9, the time will be 9/10 of the initial time, right? So initial timing was 4 and the new time is 9/10, right? So that's 18/5 hours, or we can say 216 minutes. And we have to find out the difference between Deepa and Hema. Deepa is 4.5 hours, that means 4 hours, that is 240, and plus half an hour. So 240 plus 30, 270 minutes. 270 minus 216, that is 54 minutes is the difference. Okay? And if you are not clear for the first time, watch the portion once again, because it's just a simple game of fraction and percentage increase decrease in the speed. Okay? Now, this problem, Seema, Meena and Rina start jogging around a circular stadium and complete one round in 54, 42 and 63 seconds respectively. Approximately after how many minutes they will meet again at the starting point? It's very simple, friends. We need to take the LCM of these three data. that is 54, 42 and 63, right? Because Seema will be coming will be the starting point after every 54 minute, Meena will be covering after every 42 minute, and Reena will be coming after every 63 minute, right? So all of them will come at the starting point once again. That is the data that will be get by LCM of these three, right? So it's 54, it's 42, it is 63. So it's 9 into 6, or this is 7 into 6, this is 63 is 9 into 7. So I'm not going for prime factorization over here. I just have to quickly do it. 9 into 6 into 7, that is the LCM of these three. So this is in seconds, so I divide it by 60 to get minutes, right? So 9 sevens are 63 by 10, that is around 6.3 minutes. So that's 6 minutes. Okay. Now friends, we have a problem based on ratio, proportion and percentage. Rita invested 25% more than Sunil. Here we have Rita, Sunil and Abhinav. Sunil invested 30% less than Abhinav, who invested rupees 6,000. Abhinav is investing rupees 6,000. Sunil is investing 30% less. That means Sunil is investing 70% of this. So that's, I write 0.7. And so Rita is investing 25% more of Sunil. So 25% more, that means 125%, and 125% is what? 5 by 4. So it is 6 into 0.7 into 5 by 4. Right? Now we have to find out the ratio between Rita and the total amount. Right? So we can simplify this ratio. I just put up a dot from this side. So I'll be getting 10 over here. So it's 35, 28 and 40, right? Now Rita figure should be 35. So we have two options, this and this. Total should be 8 and 5, 3, and that means it's 103. So it's incorrect. This is the correct choice. Okay. I hope you are getting me. Do not go for all the multiplication, then go for simplification. It is not at all necessary. Just write the figures in the format, because most of the figures will be cancelled out, right? So no need to waste time in doing multiplications. Now, a man gets a simple interest of rupees 1,000 on a certain principal at the rate of 5% per annum in 4 years. What compound interest will the man get on twice the principal in 2 years at the same rate? 1,000 simple interest remains same for every year. That means he is getting 250 rupees per annum as a simple interest, and that is actually 5% of some figure. So 5% of actually 5,000 will be 250 rupees. Yes, that means the principal is 5,000. Now we have to calculate the compound interest on twice the principal. That means we have to calculate the compound interest on 10,000. And the rate of interest is same. So after 1 year, what will be the interest that is going to achieve out of it? So that is 250 rupees was the simple interest, but the now amount is double. So he'll be getting 500 rupees, right, as a simple interest. Even on the next year, he'll be getting 500 rupees, but on the first year's interest, he'll be getting interest as well, right? So 5% of 500 will be 25 rupees. Getting my point? No need to go for like complicated calculations. It's 1,025 will be the simple interest that is going to get. So the amount will be 10,000 plus 1,025. That is 11,125. Okay. So that's 11025. Okay. So we calculated the amount, but in this case we are asked about the compound interest. So that must be 1025. So that's not there in the option. So it's none of these. Okay. Now a sum of rupees 731 is divided among these three people. A receives 25% more than B, and B receives 25% less than C. What is C share? A simple problem. A receives 25% more than B. That means A is 125% of B, and 125% is what? 5 by 4. So ratio between A and B is 5 by 4. Now B receives 25% less than B, less than C. See, be very careful about it. Here 25% more and here 25% less. That means B is getting 75% of C. 75% is what? 3:4. That means ratio between B to C is 3:4. Okay. Now you can find the combined ratio of ABC by this, right? That's 5, that is 15 is to 12 is to 12. I'm sorry, 15 is to 12 is to 60, right? This and this. Now we have to find out seed share. So that is 27 plus 16. So that's 43. So 16 out of 43 into 731. Now friends, after this, you don't need to multiply 16 and 731. See, 43 10 times is 430, right? That means this data is more than 10 times of 43, obviously. Now what should be the unit digit so that can be multiplied by 3 to produce 1? That must be 7. That means it must be 17, right? You can be sure of that because your answers are in integers and you are not asked to calculate the approximated value, right? Now 16 into 17, that you have to do. 16 square is 256. 256 plus 16 will be 272. So that's not there in the options. So it's none of these. Okay. I hope you are clear. Now this sum based on mensuration. The perimeter of a square is equal to twice the perimeter of a rectangle of length 8 and breadth 7. So first of all, we find out the perimeter of the square. The perimeter of this square is twice the perimeter of this rectangle. Perimeter of this rectangle will be 8 plus 7, 15. That means into 2, that is 30. So perimeter of this rectangle is 2 times L plus B. So that's 30. That means perimeter of square must be 60. That means side of the square, each side of the square must be 15. Right? So it's 15. Now, what is the circumference of a semicircle whose diameter is equal to the side of square? Now, that means diameter of this semicircle is 15. That means radius must be 15 by 2. And we have to find out the circumference, and that is of semicircle. Now, be very clear, one important thing over here. In case you have a semicircle, the circumference will be this plus this, right? It's not exactly half of 2 pi r because this portion is also involved. So that is actually pi r plus 2r. So pi r will be what? 15 by 2 into pi, that is pi r. And 2r will be what? That is diameter, and that's 15. Right? Now we have to calculate the approximate value or approximated value of this. So I take 15 as common. Now this is pi by 2 pi, that means 3.14 by 2, that is around 1.5, 1.5 you can say. So 1.5 plus 1, that's 2.5 around, right? So 15 twos are 30 and half of 15, that is 7.5. So 30 plus 7.5, something around 37.5, that is closer to this. Okay, if you are going for exact calculation of 3.14, you can get the same answer, but you need to save the time, so just get the approximate idea. Right? So 38.57 will be the correct choice. I hope you are clear. With the minimum paperwork, you have to do the sums. Now this problem. Radha's present age is 3 years less than twice her age 12 years ago. Also the respective ratio between Raj and Radha's present age is 4:9. So this is Raj, this is Radha, right? It's 4x, 9x. Now, Radha's present age is 3 years less than twice her age 12 years ago. So, 12 years ago, her age is 9x minus 12, right? And her present age is 9x. So, her age is 3 years less than twice this age. Getting my point? Her present age is 3 years less than her age, like twice her age 12 years ago, right? So we simply have to solve this equation. 18x minus 24 minus 3 is 9x. So 9x is 27, that means x is 3. So their present ages is 9 into 3 and 4 into 3. So but we are interested in Raj age. So 4 into 3, 12. That is Raj's present age. So after 5 years it will be 17. So that's none of these. Okay. Now here the respective ratio between the speeds of a car, train and bus. So this is car, train and bus. The average speed of the car, the bus and the train is 72 km per hour together. What is the average speed of car and train together? A very simple question, friend. You don't have to touch even your paper and pen. This is car, train and bus. The total is speed is 9 plus 5, 14 plus 4, 18 part, right? And so average will be 18 by 3, that is 6 part. Now that 6 part is actually 72. Right, because average speed of all of them is 72 and according to this ratio it is 6 part. So 6 part is 72, that means 1 part is 12, right? Now we are asked about the average speed of car and train together. Now ratio of car and train together is 5 plus 9, right? So total is 14, but we need to find out the average. So average will be 14 by 2, that is 7, right? Or we can say 7 part. Now 1 part is 12, that means 7 part will be 12 into 7, 84 kilometer per hour. Okay, a very simple problem, friends. Now here 2/3 of the first number is equal to cube of the second number. If the second number is equal to 12% of 50, what is the sum of first and second number? Now here 12% of 50 or 50% of the 12, both of them are same thing, right? So that's 6. That means the second number is 6. Now 2/3 of the cube of 6 is 216 and 2/3 of the first number is equal to 216, right? So first number is 108 into 3, 324 and second is 6, so 324 plus 6, 330. Okay.